Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for Fire Emblem Heroes. I guess it's not purely a live reaction. We do know who these characters are going to be. The next set of special heroes are coming across the far seas in the way of being pirate themed. So you can see right up there, Pirate's Pride is the name of the banner. If you want to see my reaction to the actual visuals and the reveals of the characters themselves, I'll go ahead and link a little card in the corner there to the Faye channel, so you can see actually our recap of the Faye channel and our live reaction there. But regardless, we're going to go through really quickly, check out their skills, what they've got to offer, some of their attack animations, and just kind of evaluate, do a preliminary evaluation of the banner as a whole. So let's get started. I'm not going to be looking away because we already know who the characters are. Shiver me timbers. Special heroes to battle. Okay. Here we go. Orgahil Pirate. Starting things off with Brigid and that awesome bow design. I don't know if Might-O has done art for Faye before. I'm not actually sure. Helmbow Plus. I am curious to see what that's all about. And then, of course, we've got Tibarn. Shipless Pirate. Who basically, who's holding a bottle of rum, presumably. I said scotch in the reveal. Doesn't make sense. He's a pirate. He's got to have barrels of rum and bottles of rum. But he looks decked out. Certainly probably one of the premium units of the banner. A Life at Sea. We've got Geese here. Ooh, I like the effect of the falling jewels. Alright, Flowing Lance Plus. Right, we saw this. We just need to know what it does. I think he's going to have one of the banner-themed weapons. Okay, Harmonic Pirates, the pairing, which is very adorable, of Xander and Veronica. Yeah, he can't... Xander can't swim. Gate Anchor Axe. Okay, attack defense, attack defense, attack defense. I see a lot of attack defense there. And I'm guessing that their Harmonized Skill is going to involve follow-up attacks. I didn't see it. We'll recap. We're going to go through it slowly, one at a time. Oh, maybe it's a movement-based. No. I like how he climbs on the horse. But he doesn't climb on the horse on the little sprite on the map. That's kind of a shame. Alright. So we got Pirate's Pride, Paralog Story, of course. Alrighty. No other surprises there. So starting on the 7th of August, just a few short days away, up until the 6th of September, meaning we have what is essentially one full month to summon for these units. We've got even color distribution across the board. It looks like Geese is going to be the 4-star focus unit of the banner. So they are continuing that, which is good because they said they would. And so that means it's going to be pretty easy to get Geese as a merge project. I mean, just eyeballing it, Tibarn and Veronica plus Xander are probably going to be the quote-unquote prizes of the banner overall, just based upon seeing their very, very quick look at their skills. So that means colorless and green are looking pretty strong here, but blue, of course, offers 4-star hero Geese, so again, easy merges there. And then we've got Brigid with red. And of course, I did forget to mention that Daros down there at the bottom is going to be available as a free unit through the Tempest Trial event. So let's go ahead and rewind and take a closer look at their skills to see if I think that they're worth pulling for. Alright, we'll start with Brigid, of course. Again, I like her art here. It's very clean. Her outfit is cute. I love the bow design. I think it's fantastic. Let's take a quick look at the skills that she has. She is a red archer, a red infantry archer, which means that she does directly compete with Igren in the normal pool, and Igren is a beast, so we'll have to see what she kind of brings to the table that's new. Helmbow Plus is her inheritable weapon, effective against flying foes, as bows are. If unit is not adjacent to an ally, inflicts speed defense -5 on foe, and neutralizes foes' bonuses to speed and defense. So it's null speed and defense basically during combat. Huh, so that is interesting. It's a solo-based skill, so she's going to be wanting to move forward solo, but she's going to be inflicting an offensive debuff, in-combat debuff, and she further neutralizes the foe's bonuses to speed and defense from things like rallies and fortifies, which is actually a pretty powerful effect. It's something that's tied in with the lull skills. So not bad, seems like a fun weapon. Definitely situational, I would say. Archers have a lot of options out there as far as inheritable bows are concerned, but this does bring something very unique to the table, which is always great. You could even pair this weapon with a lull skill in the B slot, something that would also debuff or rather neutralize the opponent's buffs to attack, if there was like fortify or rally attack on that opponent, just to kind of across the board just neutralize any activated buffs, stuff like that. But yeah, it has some interesting applications, I would say. Harsh Command Plus neutralizes target allies' penalties from skills like Panic, Threaten, etc., and negative status effects preventing counterattacks or restricting movement that lasts through the ally's next actions. Converts any penalties on target ally into bonuses. Harsh Command Plus, definitely a solid assist, especially if you're trying to set up certain AI manipulation and things of that nature. But Harsh Command Plus, essentially what Harsh Command should have been to make it relevant, it's pretty useful. Steady Impact is the A-slot skill that is going to be, upon initiating combat, the unit will be given +7 speed and +10 defense during combat, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So we're finally getting Steady Impact, one of the sister or brother skills to Sturdy Impact, and Sturdy Impact is amazing, and similarly you're getting a nice little speed boost here in addition to the +10 defense and neutralizing the follow-up attack. Very, very solid A-slot skill. And Pulse Smoke 3 for the C-slot. Very effective tool for sure, especially against particular teams and team compositions that rely on specials to do damage. Pulse Smoke 3 will be there in your back pocket to help you safely neutralize the enemy's ability to proc specials. So Bridget has some decent skills here. First time we're seeing Steady Impact, of course, a natural progression of the impact skills. Helm Bow Plus, I think, has interesting applications. It's definitely a unique bow, and one that you can have a lot of fun with when you're building characters around it. I don't think it's exceedingly powerful or anything, but I certainly think it's very useful, and it certainly has some niche capabilities that people can utilize for specific strategies out there. So yeah. And of course it looks amazing as far as a weapon is concerned. So let's keep going. Take a look at Bridget's attacking art. There she goes. Nice. Oh, I love the little gem and coins bouncing out from the attack animation. That's cool. And of course here's Tibarn brandishing that rum. Looks great. Alright, so let's take a look here. He's certainly decked out, and I am curious as to what that B-slot skill is going to be. A lot of people suspect it is going to be Reverse Desperation. A lot of people have suggested that to me. We'll see if they were right. So, Sky Pirate Claw is his weapon. 14 might, accelerates special trigger cooldown, so it has a killer/slaying effect. Always solid to have. If unit is not adjacent to an ally, okay, so continuing this solo trend, grants attack +5 to unit, and inflicts attack -5 on foe during combat, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. Yeah, makes sense. I think we saw in the Fate channel that his speed stat was pretty abysmal, so giving him the forced follow-up attack is pretty critical. At start of turn, if unit is, okay, so the beast transformation condition, right? If he does transform, unit can move 1 extra space. Yeah, okay, and unit transforms, he gets attack +2. The attack +5 to him and the attack -5 on the foe ensures that he does a lot of damage and doesn't take a lot of damage in return. And in contrast to what Brigid did with the just straight debuff, it looks like rather than have Sky Pirate Claw do -5 defense in combat debuff on the foe, they give him +5 attack. And part of that is certainly because I already see that for his A-slot skill he has Heavy Blade 4. So to help him assist with proccing that Heavy Blade 4 or meeting the condition of Heavy Blade 4, if unit's attack is greater than foe's attack, grants special cooldown charge +1 and deals +5 damage to foe per unit's attack. Definitely a powerful choice over the oft-ignored Heavy Blade 3 for good reason. Gale Force for the special is a natural fit considering he gets -1 cooldown, so it's a 4 cooldown special. He has Heavy Blade, which means if he initiates and doubles twice, and he has the condition met for Heavy Blade, that does mean that he will get essentially 4 cooldown charges when he's attacking into somebody, provided they survive the first attack. And then, of course, he is going to be able to proc Gale Force on his first initiation. Dive Bomb 3 for his B slot. At start of combat, if both units and foes' HP are greater than or equal to 80% and unit initiates combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe can counterattack. So yes, this is a reverse desperation, but it's a little bit more nuanced than that. It has a couple of different requirements. So not only does Tibarn's HP have to be greater than or equal to 80%, the foe's HP has to be greater than or equal to 80%, which isn't a terrible condition. I'm generally speaking not a huge fan of skills that rely on the enemy's HP threshold, just because I think that does rob you of a little bit of control in meeting the condition. But at the same time, in this particular instance, if the unit's HP is less than 80%, that does increase the chances that Tibarn is just going to one-shot anyway, which doesn't make any difference if he doubles or if he has Desperation active. So, Dive definitely a reverse Desperation. So at the start of combat, all that just means is that it does the HP check at the start of combat. So as soon as he initiates and it goes into the cutscene, or as soon as the animation starts to activate for the attack, that's when it does the check for the HP levels. And then, of course, it's only upon initiating combat, so again, just like Desperation, can make a follow-up attack before. Yeah. But yeah, it seems like everybody was pretty much on the nose with respect to how that skill is going to work, potentially with the exception of the foe's HP condition. I think that maybe people didn't necessarily anticipate that little twist to it. Attack Smoke 3 for the C slot. Inflicts attack -7 on foe within 2 spaces of target and through his next actions. Yeah. Yeah, the smoke skills are definitely solid. I don't know if that's really the preferred skill for him. I would say that, potentially you may even want Defense Smoke 3, because if he's going to be running in, proccing, presumably killing whoever he initiates on, activating Gale Force, whoever he initiates on next, he's going to want them to take extra damage so they die that turn too. In which case you'd probably want to have Defense Smoke. Attack Smoke would allow him to more readily proc the Heavy Blade condition again, or meet the Heavy Blade condition again, but he can't proc Gale Force more than once in a round anyway, so I don't know. Regardless, Attack Smoke 3 is a useful skill for sure. Whether or not it's optimal, I don't know, but it's good to have. And there he goes. Boom, boom. Alright. So here's Geese. A life at sea. Yeah, okay. He looks good. Alright, so he is the 4-star D mode. We should keep that in mind. Or not D mode, he's a seasonal, so he's just the 4-star focus. Flowing Lance Plus is an inheritable Lance 14 might weapon if unit is not adjacent, so again, that's solo aspect to the weapon. Yeah, so just like with Brigid, that is the theme of the inheritable weapons on this particular banner. Instead of speed and defense for Brigid, it is going to be attack and defense for Geese. Reposition for the assist, always extremely valuable. Fire Boost 3 for the A slot. If start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to foe's HP +3, grants +6 attack during combat. I'm not a big fan of the boost skills. I think they suck. I don't think there's really any reason to use a boost skill over anything else. They kind of work on abyssal stat level enemies because they have like 80 to 90 HP, but otherwise for the run-of-the-mill characters, I don't see the value. I think that if any skill needs a tier 4 skill version, it's definitely the boost skills. Infantry Pulse 3 for the C slot is valuable though. At start of turn 1, grants special cooldown count -1 to all infantry allies on team with HP less than the unit's HP. So it seems like Geese is going to be HP based. We did see a stat line during the Fate channel. I didn't pay attention to his HP stat, but it seemed like that might be one of his higher stats in general, so he can meet these conditions. Infantry Pulse is definitely valuable at setting up certain traps and allowing infantry to fully utilize all of the fun toys they have with special cooldown reduction. So that's definitely a valuable skill. So this might be an easy source of Infantry Pulse 3 if you're looking for it. Although, again, we have free sources of Infantry Pulse 3, so I don't know if that's worth it. So here's the Harmonic Pirates, going to be Xander and Veronica, of course. I love that line. Okay, well, let's see what they got. So Gate Anchor Axe is going to be a 16 might axe, accelerated special trait. So, alright, so it's got killer/slaying effect. If a unit is not adjacent to an ally, grants defense res +5 to unit. and inflicts defense res -5 on foe during combat, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. So once again, very similar to Tibarn, and I know that Xander/Veronica, or Xander and Veronica, have very average speed from what I recall. So it makes a lot of sense they would have a guaranteed follow-up effect on their weapon. Bonfire for the special makes a lot of sense, especially since their weapon is going to boost their defenses, so that's innately going to boost their bonfire damage as well. Attack defense solo, and I see a lot of attack defense skills here. So attack defense solo 4. If unit is not adjacent to an ally, grants attack defense +7 during combat. So attack defense solo 4 definitely fits naturally with them. They are a cavalry unit, and I just finished mentioning how solo skills oftentimes are paired with cavalry units just by nature of them, their increased mobility, and you know, the AI often overextending. Lull attack defense 3 for the B slot. That's a natural pick. Just pairs with the rest and synergizes with the rest of the skills very well. -3 to both of those particular stats, and also neutralizes the enemy's ability to buff their defenses or attack on the basis of fortifies and rallies. So again, just further enabling their ability to do damage and reduce damage taken. And then attack defense gap 3 for the C slot. At start of turn, grants attack defense +5 to ally with the highest attack defense total for 1 turn, excludes unit. The gap skills are kind of weird. I always feel like the gap skills are best suited to support characters, and I feel like this isn't a support character. In fact, it's the opposite. Like, the cavalry units are very often the units that kind of fly in like a homing missile and kind of disrupt the order, so to speak. So I don't know if this is the best skill necessarily for them because it doesn't boost them. I think it may be better suited for another unit so that those boosts can go onto Veronica and Xander, but regardless, overall, just it's solid for overall team composition and coordination. Just boosting the attack and defense of a fellow ally. So definitely a solid kit. It all works together, boosting that defense, boosting that bonfire damage, really. So let's take a look at the Harmonized skill. Grants Resonance Shields. Resonance Shields grants defense res +4 during combat and the following effect for 1 turn. During unit's first combat in player phase or enemy phase, foe cannot make a follow-up attack. Okay, makes a ton of sense. Defense res +4 in combat boost, just further solidifying and crystallizing the fact that this is going to be a very tanky unit, or the unit is going to have pretty high defenses to be able to take advantage of. And then, of course, there is this secondary effect where in the first combat, in player phase or enemy phase, the foe cannot make a follow-up attack, which is very potent, just essentially having a wary effect almost, and also being able to give that residually to any units on your team that come from the same titles as the characters here. So that would be obviously heroes and fates. So any of those would be able to take advantage of that effect. So very potent ability for sure, in overall being able to sustain and increase survivability. So nice. I definitely like their kit. I think that it gels very well. And then we can see them go ahead and consider them plundered. I do like their little pair-up thing here. I wish that after they paired up, like, the actual map sprite changed. Like, I wish Xander was on the horse as well. But, oh well. Whatever. So yeah, this bonfire is going to do a ton of damage. Like an absurd amount of damage. Alrighty, so Paralog Story, Pirate's Pride. Just to recap, I stand by my prediction that Xander and Veronica plus Tibarn are going to basically be the prizes of the banner. They obviously have the full kits, the premium skills, their own sort of exclusive weapons, and of course Veronica and Xander being a Harmonic hero. Veronica and Xander, I like their kit. I think it gels well. I think there's a lot of synergy across the board. Their Harmonic skill is pretty unique and interesting. Just I don't think we've seen a duo/Harmonic skill that has been more defense-based. I may be forgetting somebody. I probably am forgetting somebody, but most of them tend to be offensive-based. So, I mean, I think it's a little more unique, I guess. Tibarn certainly has the makings of a powerful offensive Gale Forcer. honestly, not a whole lot different from his original version. I think he's just going to be the same menace that he always was, which means that he's just going to swoop in, basically do guaranteed attacks. He's going to have reverse desperation, so on that first initiation, he's going to be able to guarantee not only doubling, but also just doubling in a row, which will help him to kill and then activate Gale Force, which will allow him to kill somebody else. So yeah, I mean, his archetype hasn't changed, it's just his tools have slightly changed. Brigid, I think she looks great. I think her bow looks awesome, just like visually, design-wise. I think kit-wise, she has a lot of coveted skills for inheritance purposes. I think her bow has a very unique niche, and it's probably going to be fun to use and build around. But I also don't think it's like crazy powerful or anything. And then, of course, bringing up the rear is Geese, who is going to be the 4-star focus unit of the banner. And in that capacity, does feel a little bit gimped, I would say. I mean, his skills seem to indicate that he is going to be he's going to have a lot of HP, which of course just takes numbers away from his other stats. And he comes with Infantry Pulse, which is a useful skill, but again, we have other sources of Infantry Pulse, I would say. His weapon is the Lance version of Brigid's, like I said. And like I said, both weapons I think are going to be fun to build around, are going to be useful and powerful with certain compositions, but they're also a little bit niche, and I don't think they're excessively powerful or anything, but they look cool. So let me know in the comments below what you think about the banner and the characters themselves. I know a lot of people out there are going to be pulling for that Veronica and Xander, and I don't blame you. I got to think about it for myself personally. I don't know if I'll be jumping in super hard in this. I don't know if I'm going to be pulling really beyond the poverty pulls. I'll have to decide. Choose Your Legends is around the corner, just around the corner basically, so bear that in mind. This banner is still going to be up when Choose Your Legends details drop. It's still going to be up when the next legendary hero drops, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities to go in on this banner while other news continues to pour in, so just bear that in mind. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you all so much for watching and for taking time out of your day to spend with us. We really, really do appreciate it. Certainly wishing the best for you, your family, and your friends, and hoping that you're all staying safe, healthy, secure, and united out there. And until next time, let's protect those skies.